يدعس ادعس. شوفوا ركزوا يا اخوان، بشرح لكم مره واحده. التيم اللي راح يخسر هنا راح ينزل وين؟ على طول هنا يلعب بعد يوم كامل، بعد 23 ساعه. اوكي لما ينزلون هنا راح يلعبون مع الفايز ما بين ذا التيم اكسبلوفيون والتيم الثاني. اللي حيفوز فيهم راح يقابل التيم الخسران هنا من ذي المباراة. اوكي اللي حيفوز فيهم راح يطلع لنهائي الفاينلز. نهائي الفاينلز تضمن المركز الاول والثاني. المركز الثاني انت متأهل للبطولة على طول خلاص، اتوقع صح؟ اوه اوكي انت راح تلعب على 15000 زيادة، 15000 دولار راح تلعب زيادة، وراح تلعب على 50 بوينت. ال 50 بوينت دي ممكن تفيدك في النهاية، في حال انها هجت معك في السجل الجاي تستفيد منها ال 50 دي. يلا 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 تويستد ضد كيفستر. طيب يا اخوان دامكم تثقون فيني، المباراة لتويستد 3-0 3-1. اذا غلط انا كلب. لا لا فك، عندي سوابق مع سكبيتنا. اذا غلط انا بعطي 50 جفت سب للموجودين في البث. الجودة بتعدل، اصبروا يا اخوان.
Oh, we're like talking about disengages. How about just Wing in, teleport in, and quartz. The random shot into Kevster as he was dealing with these teams are so distant. This could be coming down to Sojourns, but as Ents backed away to heal back up their tank, Twisted might smell blood in the water.
يا ريس يا سب.
And you do not want to play on this coast side.
يا عمري يا تويستد. يا عمري يا تويستد. قلت لكم يا اخوان.
Twisted Minds are set up on the point. You gotta watch out for where those turrets are. You can't take too much damage from them.
Okay, KSA goes in with friends and Slate teleported in. I wonder if Twisted Minds got split up on whether they wanted to teleport into the point or into the market side, and Ents took full advantage.
يا اخوان تصدقون
to get the point back.
المتى ذي تخوف شوي.
No heads to be seen. Twisted Minds were hiding, ready for the teleport play, and they kind of use it as a fake. They place it at the back of the point, don't actually end up using it. Photon barriers. Now the gates are up. The dogs can only just bark at each other. No fighting quite yet. But barrier engaged first from Masa. Kellex holds on to his. Now pops it second. Advantage for Twisted Minds. Cage fights exchange, so there is no leaving. It's do or die. And Vistolo is hoping to leave the point or at least take somebody with them. Both Kirikos are down, so limited resources, but a lot more DPS it seems on the side of Twisted Minds. But I think the KSA presence when Vistolo was missing added to
those final few members of Ents.
So
the scoreboard starting to get evened a little bit in this very first round. Even though Ents is in less red territory, they can come back into this with just the Kitsune rush at this point. Really good call and response here from both teams to adjust to all of the ultimates thrown at this, but Crimzo is going to be first to the rush.
Early few seconds, Crimzo and Slay pretty close. Ents not being able to take quite yet. They're trying to force Twisted Minds out. Kitsune rush, but what an advantage! Kevster for his team with that photon barrier, 10% faster than Yubi, and Yubi managed to pop his, and not in the most ideal spot. And he died. He got booped off, and wow, there's some revenge. But Kellex manages to climb back up. It's a path for this point with Ents at 99%. Twisted Minds still trying to touch, but Kai, this is his turf, and you're not round and bested Twisted Minds in their own game, but this is a different game. But Kevster landed all those stickies on the Yubi. That is such a squishy character, and that's a first blood for Ents. But that's not all, because the point
they're giving up a lot of momentum here to Ents as they start to generate
هدي بس روقنا انت بدينا نرفزه.
Okay, he can start to play really aggressively here, and the teleport in is a little bit safer this time from Twisted Minds.
Okay, KSA taking the brunt of that pressure, and the Kitsune rush is behind him, and KSA can't keep up.
تشكيلة التيم اللي ضد التيم اللي ضد تويستد كاونتر لتشكيلة العيال. بس ما غيروا العيال. هل انا هم متعودين يلعبون ضد التشكيلة؟
Just the end to this second round here. Ents could get a flawless 100-0.
See, Kai not even needing the overclock to hit heads and do damage, but he's gonna pop it anyway. Terra Surge, Vestolo's trying to line up the pins, and Kai
يا اخوان ترى كوارز دايما يحبني اول جيم صدقوني بعدين بيكرر.
Quartz needs to hang. I hyped up this matchup. Do not disappoint me now, but ends seconds away from having a flawless round 2, and they're going to touch the spawn room door.
هم وجهة نظري
You know you're in trouble.
ولا اوفرها.
What a map win from ends taking Lijiang Tower.
But Ents, once again, like they've got the Orisa, they've got things to cover her and give her some leeway. And yeah, let's see what Kevster is able to do with this.
Kind of a slow burn towards the point. We've gotten there in one piece, but Ents are going to try to take them down to pieces, and they're on the high ground. I wonder where Kevster is going to be lurking. He obviously doesn't want to be the focus of that attention. Is going to wait until Twisted Minds teleport in. Here's Kevster going above, and that's where those nades too can do some good AoE to Twisted Minds, but already 2 ticks in almost a third. Ents are really having issues getting space back, and that's where you rely on Vestola, that chunky anchor to just
ايه يا كيفستر متفلت عليهم بيكو ها. ايه يا الكلب قريب كنت حاشرينك في الزاوية انا كوارت. ايه اني زمن يا اخوان كابوس يوبي انكم تقولون له يغير شخصية. اهدوا اهدوا والله اهدوا. يا اخي والله عنده افضلية مع الكبي. عارفين يصير كبي يجيب التي شوف كيسين ما جاب الحين. شي وجاب جيجي وكوارد كيسين لسه. ايه بس اليوم في حرية تعبير مو بانتخاباته. خذ راحتك. يدعس ادعس ايه. الله لازم تكرر يا كوارد ما كررت ما تفوز والله لازم.
And how do Twisted Minds get into this one? They can play around the cart here. They're a little bit vulnerable to the sticky bombs and focus beam from Kevster, but you do have this cage fight.
Yubi.
طيب يا اخوان اذا يوبي يغير وش يروح؟
Easily just use that right room. See how they plan this out.
I have to kill you.
Yep.
عارف صوت كوارد يا اخوان هذا معناه مكتئب. والله مكتئب كوارد معصب. والله اني ما الومه.
Orisa and the Sojourn. So good fight coming up here for Twisted Minds, knowing that they've got all of that planned out, and they can expect maybe this Terror Surge now to be online after all of those picks.
Okay, we're gonna give them another. No, I'm not even gonna do a listen. Everyone's starting to die already. Twisted Minds, man. At least.
لا 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 كيسي كيسي. اه والله كريم باز بكري بلالتي ما طلع على طول. يا اخي اقسم بالله انك كوارد يا اخوان. This guy فيك ضد كوارد صاحي انت. يا سيد ما فزت الجيم الاول انك ماسك كوارد لازم تكمل.
Wow.
ولا حتخسر.
The extra card progress just topple over them.
Oh, jeez. As soon as Twisted Minds take any teleporter, someone has to be sacrificed to the gods. It hasn't been a clean transition from Twisted Minds, all thanks to Ents' quick reactions, reading these plays like a book. Twisted Minds, even though they start the fights 4v5, they are able to find equalizers. Kai is down, a huge source of damage gone. Kitsune rushes exchanged, and Twisted Minds have a cage fight. KSA wants to help your position, and well, Ents are actually dead. Even with the sound barrier being
Twisted Minds for every
لو وصلوها على النهاية فايزين.
This final point, you've got that cage fight. You can just lay down here.
Let's hear the final moments of Twisted Minds as they look to cap.
يا ابوي ما يمديك ما يمديك. والله انه في فكرة بنسم يا اخوان انتم ما لاحظتوها. انا ما لاحظتها معكم مسوي اللي لاحظتها قبل شوي ترى.
Guys, I swear, I don't know what's wrong with us. We're not talking. Like it's like we fucking gave up. No one knows what to do.
Hard focus. I can't play the game.
سم تكونتر ريسا يا اخوان. فسم تكونتر اللي كونتر حميدي. بس حميدي ما يتكونتر. اتوقع ريسا تكونتر ماوغا فسم كونتر ريسا. مع اني حتى للحين احس اني ماني مقتنع بفكره ان ماوغا يتكونتر ريسا.
And they are heading towards the point. Ents on the left side. Kevster already has 30% charge. His grenades have been marking Yubi. He has to watch his back, and I think that's why Yubi is surrounding himself with his team, so he's a harder target to.
انا اعتزلت يا اخوان. انتم بوتات مع احترامي، حاطين بريدكشن لكل جيم ولا البطوله كامله عشان افهم بس. يا اخوان نتي بعد العشاء يصير خايس والله ما ادري ليش. السي يصلون التراويح ما في لها تبرير صراحه.
Looking a lot towards KSA and fighting for the high ground using the dupe of Kevster. And he flies back to safety. Kevster always measures his aggression well. He doesn't go in without his team at least taking the attention at a different side. Twisted Minds teleport right to.
اخوان لو واحد يبغى يبدا يلعب ما لي دخل. طيب انا صدقوني انا الان مجرد مشاهد معكم واحلل. والله يا اخوان من افضل القرارات اللي اتخذتها بحياتي اني كوت بطولات. الله لا يحسسني بشعور اللي قاعد يلعبون الحين الا التيم الفايز.
And Yubi teleported them out, so he gets a golden shiny sticker too, the same one Masa got. This is quite literally a chess match of how you move these pods, and the teleport placed by Yubi to get them out of the Vestola Terra Surge, and he committed to that, and Masa committed the barrier to save Vestola in that moment, and it didn't work out for Ents in that moment. Twisted Minds.
الفوز حلو يب، انا اقول لك اياها، تكون المركز الاول حلو بس المركز الاول مو بسهل. تويستد سنتين هم افضل فريق. ما ذاك شوف الحين الجيم صعب هذا. يا اخوان اليوم هذا المقطع ان شاء الله بينزل يوتيوب اوكي؟ نفس اليوم حق البطولة.
But way more focus fire being put onto Vestola right now, and once your main tank is down, what kind of push do you have?
Twisted Minds just want to play faster than Ents. This is going to be a big fight. This time, out.
والله يا اخوان السيرفر الكوري بعالم ثاني صراحة مع احترامي. والله مغربين للحين يلعبون منكي. كل شيء منكي 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 خلاص، حتى المنكي ماتوا كذا. والله يا علوة منكي ماتوا الحين هم يلعبون منكي خلاص. الحين ما بقى شغل في العالم. يلعب عرق اول مرة بيفوز. يا اخوان والله صدق خلاص منكي يا اخي المتى؟ نوفراتش وين يلعبون منكي؟ حتى ضدنا يلعبون دونفس منكي. لا شخصيتين ما ادري ايش. حلو الريتك حلو مرة.
Suzu might have been able to save somebody from a deathly shot from Quartz, and he jumped down and got greedy and found an important kill onto that Sojourn. But a photon barrier protects this defense maybe for one last time. As Ents fight tooth and nail to finish off these squishy targets. Now
oh my god البيك كوارتز. oh my god كوارتز يا اخوان.
Swap to the widow, came out of spawn and found 2 headshots. And now he doesn't have to
تكفى. خفنا والله انه خاف. اوه ماي جاد لو شال الكركو يا اخوان، لو الكركو بس جاء عنده ايجو شوي غرور انه يحاول يشيل كوار قتله. لو قتله كان قتل 4. الله اني اسف لك يا كوار.
Plant themselves on that point and potentially have to play into the Terra Surge itself. And Kelix doesn't have the sound barrier yet.
Kitsune rush available. Kevster. Oh, force out the cage fight of KSA. No one from Ents got trapped in that. Now just trying to break it down. Kevster out of his form, and KSA was low. And the focusing beam from Kevster came out at the perfect time. Jake talked about the importance of Echo and her
وارد عربي لبناني يا باد بوي. وارد من لبنان.
Kissing beam, holy moly, melted. Now there's where the Terra Surge can really start to come in as we see Vestola walking to the back line.
KSA got one last touch, but Vestola's its spawn got a full ripped Terra Surge on Yubi. And Twisted Minds won't have that photon barrier for a few more seconds, and it's just clean kills out of Ents to not let reinforcements play.
يا اخوان شلون كوارتز لبناني وهو فايز بكاس العالم مع السعودية؟ لا تتعبوني. يا اخوان ايش الاسئلة يا اخوان؟ مجنس صح. ما بعد والله انا مروق وهم مضغوطين يا الله. خلاص خلنا ندخل باجواء المباراة.
Lock them closer to the spawn. They can't get out and actually make sure that that defense can hold strong. So here is Twisted Minds on the attack. They've really got one shot at this to see if they can make it work.
You're right. One chance, one opportunity.
شكرا على السب يا سيركس.
So ends descend down the stairs.
حلوة. احس كذا ذي كويسة اتاك. حلو التك.
KSA extended around the corner and got bursted probably from this echo. And wow, Kevster brought down to 30 and Yubi goes for a risky teleport play to the flank to finish.
فازوا وانت ميت يا كيسي. فازوا وانت تانكهم وميت. والله فتكون فخور. انا وانا عايش اخسر. عايش قاعد اساعدهم وقاتل اثنين اخسر.
To the sky, so really good recognition there by Twisted Minds. A big fake from the teleporter too, but now it's time to get as much distance as possible, and it's overtime now. They can't get off the card.
مستحيل كيسي يسوي سلايد. سيارة ابوه كيسي ترى يعتبرها الحين. مستحيل يسوي سلايد.
And Ents can maybe just save this
fight.
It's really too little too late. Ents are playing from behind, and Kaya charged up rail, focusing on just getting KSA low. Ents are gonna Crimzo very soon, and Ents will have to jump on them once respawns come back. And they're not really taking any risks with their positioning. Now you have Kai with the overclock playing at the back here, and the sound barrier from Kelix to help Twisted Minds slip through it. But
يا اخوان البريك بعد الجيم الثاني ولا الثالث؟
Where do you use it? You know, do you try to fake it? Do you try to force out cooldowns? Because that is a great use of the teleporter right now, especially if you've sort of you know, warmed your opponents up to the idea that those teleporters can be engagement tools in these types of situations.
In the box of victory.
بعد الماب خلاص يا اخوان. ماجد تقول لكم بعد الماب. اعطاكم العلم. اكفى ماجد تقلب الجيم.
But it's gonna take a lot to take down Vestola, but they catch Kevster and Twisted Minds when they go for these teleport plays. It could be really hectic, and you gotta pick
up the Kitsune rush, and that's it.
Oh my god.
5.
5 التيات.
I'm just doing some simple math right now on broadcast, but I think that 5 is better than 1 if you're able to layer them effectively, cycle through them, so you're not just be potentially
العبوا المفروض ان تويست يلعبون لون.
end up taking this fight a little bit early.
سوي انصح.
You heard them all.
They
know they're going to be at a disadvantage here, and look at Kai waiting.
لا.
Strike.
Oh, better watch your back. Oh, Yubi.
لازم يعيش.
You made 2 of those shots.
فرص مات مع عائلتي.
Teleporter play. Ents will have dupe. Ents have a lot more tools up their sleeve. It is not just Kevster or Kai, but they will coalesce together to get to that box of victory. And now Ents.
No, she did have that ultimate charge. 8% difference reverted, but Kevster on this echo is so nasty. And if you're locked in like that, playing a hero that is just a good counter to the Malka, keep playing it, right?
Yeah, Sombra no longer broken, but still playable. Fault in the fight, but he has to play in a lot of cover because the poke of these Sojourns is what's really important.
I don't know how much he cares about also flying too high either. Right? Like, he can play around all of these pillars, as you said, and ground echo can still...
راح يقعدون بالراحة هنا دقيقتين تكون على الباب.
Like the supports.
Kevster is farming ult, like he's the closest one. Actually, no, it's Slave, my bad. Wasn't aware of your game. Early Kitsune rush, 10% ahead of Crimzo, giving Twisted Minds a lot of space to work with. But you gotta shout out Masa for helping Ents disengage and now re-engage off of the Kevster cage fight that he got.
يعني
getting so much healing. I thought Kevster was gonna die for sure. And this locked Twisted Minds into a fight that they weren't really prepared for. And
صار جاب كوبي جاب ماوقا وجاب التي وكيسي ما جاب نص التيه حتى خطتهم افضل.
The power of the ground at teleporter. Great disengage from Ents.
Yeah, but as they leave, pillars are going to be more out in the open, and Twisted Minds want to engage off of this, but Kelix dies and there's no sound barrier available, but Quartz gets the trade. The overclock from the high ground. Kevster went for an aggressive challenge, and testing Quartz's aim. I mean, you're going to find out the hard way. This guy is a Chad.
Also damage output, so...
اخوان يوبي ما يمدي يغير، المفروض يغير إذا أحد يغير هو كيسي. يوبي الظاهر هدفه من هذه سم لأنه ريسي كونترها. كيسي يتحرك.
Sound barrier used first by Kelix, Slay with the Kitsune rush, and Masa uses his barrier second. A little bit of an advantage for ENS. And Vestola and friends still trying to prevent Twisted Minds from getting that lead. It's still 33 for ENS, and Twisted Minds have lost Yubi on the setup. And Kevster gets to fly above and get Twisted Minds so low as they try to leave this pillar side. Twisted Minds is getting staggered.
احس حرام يخسرون مسابقة كذا. مو وقع المشكلة تشكيل بشكل عام. يا اخوان كيسين ما راح يغير لانه هم مدربين على ذا الكوم، ما يمدي يغير البطولة. مو بسهولة. ايكو جالس يكري. وليس جالس يكري. صح.
To get the bot going though, and Terra Surge, Kevster with the dupe. You're never getting a clean fight win if you're either team. You may get first blood, but it's always traded out. Kevster on the dupe. Oh, okay, well Masa didn't respect the 1v1, but I respect the will to
ايوه كان كارد محشور وعنده
with bot control.
يا اخي المعلق
48 meters heading for that checkpoint.
That's not what you want to be or have.
ما ادري والله يا اخوان، والله اني ما ادري.
Teleporter too, there you go. It's a little bit of a fake, but high ground control being in ENS's favor is a huge boon.
Oh wow, I didn't think Twisted Minds were going to be able to contest the checkpoint, and it worked out. ENS went to the top to set up Kai for a long-range fight, and Twisted Minds got on the bot and managed to win the fight over ENS. You do not really want to get this past 64 meters. This win or this comeback from Twisted Minds.
ودام لبدح ما دخلوه للحين يا اخوان. غالبا اللبدح ما لعب معهم ولا سكريم. كذا ما دخل. ما راح يدخلون على البطولة. ما لعب معهم سكريم.
Twisted Minds, a much strong big deal here for Twisted Minds to try to seal the deal. 3.5 minutes remaining. There's not too many more fights that are going to happen here on Contactyznsa when we are playing around this midpoint. But ENS coming back in here with the overclock.
This is an important fight. Can ENS extend their lead? They're already up by 2 thanks to the Terra Surgeon. That pairs up well when KSA wants to play that close with the cage fight. Kevster is
pretty quick to get back up to this.
بس احس غريب الموضوع لو انت تكره تويستد.
Here's where things start to get really tricky is that ENS.
بس ممكن تبي تقول رايك يعني مثلا ويساوي خساره اوكي. بس ثبتها راح تبني.
ENS kind of did that first in those last fights, and they're continuing to do that. Akai pressing the overclock early. It felt like the cage fight from KSA came out a little bit too late.
Gotta pop your ults when you can in these crazy fights. Sound barrier from Masa versus Kelix using his second. Quartz with the overclock has too much health to chunk through. And Twisted Minds try to make the most out of this. You can tell they're playing so well together. And they've stayed composed.
That has helped Twisted Minds get the lead with...
It just gives you such a strong defensive position around these pillars as well. So it's going to be up to ENS to try to find those angles outside of that. But you should hit this pretty early, especially if Crimson's going to go in with something like this rush.
Well, ENS going to use the Kitsune rush, photon barrier from Twisted Minds. They're just going to bulldoze their way through it, and I saw KC even try to bulldoze people off the map, and it's an absolute bloodbath. I think only a few people left, but KSA's still kicking. He has a lot of health to chunk through and armor, so this may be the stain.
KSA رجع شفتم الله انه ذكي خلاص.
Poor Masa got moved off the map, and you were just starting to be limited on your healing resources. So
لو لعبوا لهم على الكوبي مصيبة.
Even just to be able to create space away Twisted Minds. Twisted Minds do get a strong position here, but it gives ENS a fighting chance with that duplicate.
The sound barrier used by Twisted Minds, and the Terra Surge Vestola is insane for that. Just donk walks into the team as KSA. It's kind of like both these teams are playing like dogs.
عندهم فايتين يا اخوان، عندهم فايت تشيك بوينت وعندهم فايت الاخير. بس عندهم فايتين الحين. لو خسروا فايتين يخسرون البطولة الجيم ده قصدي. عندنا جيجي
and this could be a lead now being taken back here by ENS, but sub 30 seconds. This is going to be final fight.
This is last fight with Twisted Minds.
أتلف الله ياخذك يا شيخ. وين ماجد؟ الله ياخذ ماجد بعد.
He's dead and he doesn't have Kitsune rush.
يبيك خليهم يسوون بيت. صار جاب لهم افضل بيك يا اخوان، جاب لهم لوسيو مع بيت. بش سريع ما عنده بيت. بس سريع الحين حرفيا روح علت. ايه روحوا علتوا.
protection. KSA says you're stuck in here with me with the sound overtime.
ناين
This and Quartz with
نايس يا عمري يا عمري.
try to catch ENS off guard.
That too, but you look at the flip side with Masa, that has also been really great at recognizing when to disengage and when to use those amp it ups to also re-engage. And so, like, teleporter, yes, great to kind of rotate around the map, but ends up still been very adaptive and very quick to react when it comes to those.
أنا قلت رأيي ولا قمت باند. طب خلينا نشوف بسام مش كاتب.
Vestola is sticking to the Orisa. That's been ENSA's style, and he can use the javelin spin to close the gap. And
الخسارة بسبب يوبي.
Kai creates a gap in Yubi's forehead.
بس كان تكسب بطريقة أفضل.
I would love to see the stats between Kai first final.
Well, not a whole lot that you can do if you get hit by a sticky bomb and then just like hit in the head, right? It's a little tough to have to contend with, but Twisted Minds, the teleporter now comes in very handy to try to wrap around the team and just make things a little bit more chaotic. Vestola's isolated too.
Yeah, and he's dropping his armor, but he gets healed back up. Great support out of Crimzo. You'll be on the flank. Really wanted that kill, but he's not going to overextend for it. Twisted Minds are poking and prodding from the left, and Kai is trying to be as close to Vestola as possible to have some CC to protect him. And Twisted Minds have Kitsune rush first. Crimzo matches it, and Kevster's about to get the dupe.
الله عنده مفضلية مرة يا اخوان. اقسم بالله انه مرة عنده مفضلية. احس لو يعني بالنهائي الفاينل، لا الفاينل النهائي المنتظر صدق اللي هو متجري يرجعون من لوزر بلاكت او ذول راح يفوزون مرة. يرون تكتهم غالبا.
Masa uses his second, and the Terror Surge from Vestola forces Twisted Minds out of the points. But an overclock from Kai. Quartz gets shut down before he could use his, and this is feeling like an ENS point cap.
Overclock combo, put the shield up, keep Quartz very safe.
Ideally, Twisted Minds would like to cap this in the next 3 seconds before ENS really force them out, and sometimes it's bait to play on the point. ENS's comp is all about poking and prodding around them than playing necessarily up close and personal, and ENS wanted to prevent the cap and expose themselves to close range damage, and Kai and Kevster dying there.
They get to keep that ult advantage big into this next fight.
Twisted Minds have a lot of ults. They're usually good at taking the initiative, but they're relying on Quartz to just take the time to get picks, as Kevster wants to be elusive. They're going to take a different angle. ENS having Vestola lead the charge, who isolates himself but gets back to the team before he drops. ENS are so low. Crimzo needs to take the time to heal them, but Quartz won't let them stand.
ودي اعرف الفريق ذول يسكرون ضد بعض ولا لا؟ الفريقين ذول ما ادري ايش احس انهم ينطقون داير بس مرة دفعوا عشان كذا تويستد ما غيروا. احس قد لعبوا تويستد كذا ضد ذول ويدعسون على الفريق كيفستر كذا ما غيروا اليوم كذا.
Now the ult advantage is to ENS. So can they end up actually capturing this flashpoint first? They are willing to give up some percentage of flashpoints if it means that they know they can win the victory in the end, the long battle. So let's see what they got.
Teleporter play from UB available to try and contest that high ground, because that high ground is a power position because of how much shelter it has for vulnerable people like Kai. But he always is never playing by himself. He's playing with a team. But Twisted Minds actually teleport onto the point and are using this, well, very sturdy fountain as protection. And it's gonna drop down to contest the capture. And this is gonna come down to a war to see who will cap this first. Every ultimate debate coming out, but ends thrown out using that sound barrier and Kitsune.
Of how to do that in order to back away from that damage or even try to actually use that Kitsune rush. So Photon barrier is now out. They do have a sound barrier for Twisted Minds. Will be good to be able to get some extra sustainability, but Kai first here with the overclock. The teleporter right in his face.
Kai just got run over by the whole squad. Oh my god. Crimzo's dead too. This fight is toast for ENS. Twisted Minds getting to 70%. 70% plus. Masa, you're a demon. Could mean that Twisted Minds could go to map point. ENS are around the corner.
شلون؟ اوه تويستد اشوى. شو الحظ؟
may have just saved the day, and Quartz shuts down the Kai overclock. Twisted Minds are 1 point away, sending us to game 5 and one step closer to a reverse.
I'm so impressed by that kick sound barrier just to be able to shut down Kai's overclock, buy Quartz some time, and now overclock for Quartz this turn.
Kitsune rush from Crimzo, but Slay never used his. And Quartz, the overclock, it gets one, but that may not be enough. Slay is trying to conserve this for the potential final fight if they manage to keep this one and still have a Terra Surge and
delete people because of how much mobility and
they're
actually getting from that ult. So I do love the patience to hold that ultimate.
Photon barrier, Twisted Minds using that to protect themselves during the cap. 80% plus. This is final fight for Twisted Minds to win, to send us to game 5. And Ents have one tool, and it's Vestola's Terra Surge, and Kai hoping to build up an overclock. Quartz and Kai need to shut each other down, because that could be the difference maker this fight. But the cage match, the cage fight from KSA, Vestola, who counters with the Terra Surge, but the sound barrier from Masa could make all the difference. A little extra health never hurt nobody, and Ents search forward to get access to these squishy DPS. Quartz can jump, but he's about to just jump into his own death. Twisted Minds can't hold on any longer.
And now let's go back to the drawing board too.
Okay, now it's last fight for both teams. At least for this point. That's going to send us to a point 5. Twisted Minds want to go to game 5. And ends
a lot on the line.
Kitsune rush after Twisted Minds expended
every
option he had in terms of ultimates. Ends managed to get the point. Vestola at the front is going to try and prevent Twisted Minds from touching. Sound barrier re-engaged from Kelix. UB is getting into the line of fire, and that sound barrier is gone. That advantage is gone for Twisted Minds, and KSA needs to make space, but he's taking so much damage, and Twisted Minds cannot get the trades. And we'll send this to a deciding point on Suravasa. The end
was small. Temple does give Temple does actually give it a run for its money. I kind of forgot how tiny this point was. But perfect territory for this Terra Surge. Perfect opportunity as well if UB wants to hit this photon barrier again. But you don't have
listen
that
into these comms of this setup from UB and friends with the photon barrier.
First one.
They used Orisa, they used Beat.
They're a lot more calm than before.
They are calm, they're collected, and so that's a very good thing. I want to know what they're going to be doing in this next fight, though, because at least they have the rush this time.
All right, Kitsune rush from Slay, Twisted Minds. It's pedal to the metal, and yeah, you can't boop an Orisa and fortify, but that's okay. Vestola will do the job for you, and return to spawn is so back and forth.
To turn the tide here for Ents and get them back into this one. You also have a couple of other ultimates here for Ents, so it's the onus is on Twisted Minds here to figure out how they're going to deal with this Malgadoo.
Okay, Kefster, front line. Now you got a lot of options of front line there with Ents and Kitsune rush from Crimzo. And have a huge advantage in this. Twisted Minds are dropping this fight. They're trying to teleport to the other side to have some flame
يا الله الكوبي قاعد يفوزهم يا اخوان الكوبي مرة قاعد يفوز التيم ذا.
Twisted Minds still can't get this fight going. So
pop-up potential to finish this for their team.
Okay, overclock. This is what could spell the end.
ايه بس كيفستر ما راح يتهرب ايكو الا اذا كيسك يلعب موقع.
Game 5 teleport fake from UB photon barrier so that Twisted Minds can dance on either side.
اخر فايت يا اخوان يلعبون على اخر فايت. اللي يفوز هذا الفايت يفوز الجيم.
Twisted Minds to cap because it's about winning the fight. Ents have time. Twisted Minds 80% plus. Ents ready to re-engage. They'll have the sound barrier, but they really don't know where Twisted Minds are and where this teleport is set up. Vestola's gonna scout for them. Sound barrier and Kitsune rush advantage for Twisted Minds. None for Crimzo. And overclock between Quartz and Kai, but Quartz is too low. Kevster with the focusing beam, but it's traded out. Slay got his revenge. It's a 4 versus 4 and 99% in favor of Ents. Twisted Minds needs a touch, and
خليه يسوي تكتيك. دخلت فيه دخلت فيه دخلت فيه كسر. كونا نو واي. لا دخلت فيه حمادي. طيب خليني اشرح لكم بس شيء قبل ما انهي حتى الريكورد عشان اللي في اليوتيوب يدرون. بكره نفس هذا الوقت اوكي. بكره تويستد، الحين تويستد نزلوا هنا تحت. الفريق الفايز هذه المباراة بعد شيء بعد دقيقتين، مباراة غير مهمة. التيم الفايز من ذا الفريق راح يجي هنا. الفايز راح يرجع يقابل فريق كيفستر مرة ثانية. فبإذن الله ان تويستد راح يفوزون على الفايز من هنا اوكي، سواء تيم هادي او تيم اكسبلوفيان. حيرجعون راح يرجعون لذا الفريق تيم كيفستر، وراح يطقون تيم كيفستر باذن الله. والله اني اثق في التيم يا اخوان. بكره كلها هذه بكره تويستد راح يلعبون جيمين ورا بعض، راح يلعبون ذا وراح يلعبون ذا، يعني حيكونون محميين تحميه بنت كلب حرفيا. راح يكونوا جاهزين يا اخوان، لان لو نلاحظ تويستد في النهايه شدوا ترى مو زي البدايه، ما ادري وش السالفه. فبكره راح يكونوا جايين من بطوله اوريدي، حيكون جايين فايزين على تيم هادي بماوغا ولا بدون ماوغا راح يفوزون باذن الله. عموما ان شاء الله ان بكره راح تكون اوكي، وان شاء الله ان الملخص عجبكم يا اللي موجودين في اليوتيوب وبس. والله اشوفكم على خير، لا تنسوا اللايك والاشتراك يا اخوان. مع السلامه.